Hi, everybody, and welcome to our very first, our inaugural session in our new cadence of Q&A cafes. We're going to have 2 Business One and 2 by Design cafes each month from here on out. I am so excited and privileged to welcome our host, Shannon Kennedy, today. As always, I'm Catherine. I will be facilitating for you. Just a quick note here that this will be recorded, so everyone will remain on mute, except of course for our host and myself. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to type them into the questions or chat boxes, and we will endeavor to get to them towards the end of the webinar. Quick note as well to join us next week for our Q&A Cafe, Navigating the Financial Cockpit in SAP Business by Design. That will be held on Wednesday, July 14th at our usual time. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Shannon.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shannon Kennedy, and I'll be presenting today on some CRM in SAP Business One, which was actually added in SAP Business One 9.3. They added a specific module for CRM in order to kind of gather up everything that had to do with your customer relationship management, all within one module in SAP. So today we're just going to be reviewing a little bit about customer CRM and how it works in Business One. And like Catherine stated, if we have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out or put them in the chat, and I'll do my very best to answer all of them. So for customer relationship management, most people think of that as good follow-up for you and your customers. A lot of the time that ends up kind of in the hands of your admin team. So the CRM module is very helpful for them because it keeps everything within one spot. That includes your business partner master data, which opens up master data records directly in B1. It also includes our activities, our campaigns, our opportunities. You can create a sales quote and a sales order directly from here. And in our case, because we're using a HANA database, it also allows you to access your Customer 360, which is part of the analytic tools in your HANA database, which kind of gives you a generalized overview on a per customer basis or all of your customers. So today we're going to start by just opening up our business partner master data for those of you that may not be all that familiar with SAP Business One. So once we open up our business partner master data, I'm just going to simply use my back arrows here to navigate through my records and open up one of my records here. So this business partner can have associated activities and campaigns that you can track when you're running different ideas past your sales team. You want to create a specific campaign that could target these specific business partners. That could be maybe you have overages of stock and you want to target specific business partners. It will allow you to track all of that information and also set yourself follow-up or reminders in the system so that you know what's going on with those follow-ups, with that customer relationship. Inside your business master data, this is going to include your contact people for every one of your business partners, that's customers or vendors, as well as their addresses, payment terms, and accounting information. Now, using CRM, it's going to basically base most of this information off the business partner itself and your contacts here. The reason I say that is because once we start utilizing CRM, it's mostly going to allow you to follow up per contact within your business partner. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new activity. When you're creating a new activity in SAP Business One, it's allowing you to create an activity based on the need or the follow-up that you want to do with your customer. So this screen will always open up in your add mode, but you can certainly utilize your find mode at the top of your screen to locate activities that are already entered in the system, as well as utilize your back and forth arrows here to see activities that are already entered within the system. I'm going to click my add again, just so I make sure I'm back in my add mode, and I'm going to enter in an activity. All of your activity types are listed here. You can select any of those, Or if it's something that's not on the list, you can feel free to select other. I'm going to keep it as our default for a phone call. And then my type of activity is going to be a sales task. You can also select a subject for your activity. If you're doing demonstrations with multiple customers, having your activity linked to something like a send demo or a follow-up on a demo will allow you to better coordinate the follow-up for those customers based upon whatever demo it has to do with. So if I were going to utilize follow-up on demo, what I would probably do is also put in my remarks what the demo was on, just to give myself a little bit more information. So if I want to follow up with a customer in my activity and I want to follow up on a demo, I would maybe put demo on SAP financials as a little bit more information. Then you'd enter in your start and end time for your activity, as well as how long it took. It defaults into 15 minutes always. Then I would go to my next tab, which allows you to enter in a little bit of information regarding the activity and the resource used. Anywhere that you see your circle find button is a standard SAP find option. Once you click that, it's opening up our resources here. So if you're utilizing resources in SAP Business One, you can assign one here. It's also going to allow me to select our activity type if I'm assigning a resource. The content in our activity would be a detailed description on what this activity is and why you're entering it into the system. For my case, I am going to put follow-up on prior sales demo with customer. Your linked document allows you to select a document from SAP Business One and link it directly to this system here, this activity. If I put sales quote, I can enter in a sales quote that I've entered for the customer, and it will allow the information to now be drilled down directly from the activity. So if your activity resulted in a sales quote or you needed to follow up on a sales quote previously sent, you can put that information here for your follow-up. You can also attach multiple documents to any of your activities as well. You can simply utilize your browse option, which you see here on the top right of your screen, and you can select from any location within your system to attach a document. This can be any sort of document. It could be company informational document. Maybe it can be a follow-up note document that you took during your sales demo, and you can attach it to that information there. Now, by default, when you're entering in an activity, it's going to be assigned to yourself. However, if I want to assign this activity to someone else, I can simply select from my drop-down list here and then select someone else to assign that activity to as well. Now, once I assign this activity to someone else, my assigned by information will go in automatically so that they know when they open up that activity, it was assigned to them by Shannon. I'm just going to assign that back to myself, and now I'm going to add my activity into the system. Once I've added my activity, I'm just going to simply click the back button, and you'll see that my activity has shown back up here. From your activity, you can also select inactive or closed depending upon if the activity has been completed or maybe it resulted in a sale, so you'd like to close it. You can also select your follow-up option from the bottom right of your screen. And this will allow you to enter in an additional follow-up activity linked to this activity. So perhaps you want to close this activity because it resulted in a sales order, but now maybe you want to follow up on that sales order for a payment. You'd be able to put in an additional follow-up here. You can also set an activity on a recurring basis. What this means is that if I select daily, it's going to give me some options here for how often that runs. That is going to send me, as the user and the person assigned, an alert reminding me that I have that activity and I have it set for a follow-up, or that it just remains open. I'm just going to cancel out of our activity and move on to the next option here. We have something called a campaign generation wizard, as well as simply campaign management. When you're running a campaign, you mainly use it as a sales and marketing tool to direct the selling of, or possibly a sale on an item or group of items, to all of your business partners and your customers, or a select bunch of them. The campaign generation wizard actually allows you to build a campaign directly from scratch, or it allows you to utilize a previous campaign or run a campaign again. If you had a very successful campaign in the past, you can simply run an executed campaign again via the wizard as well, and it will automatically create a new campaign for you with updated dates from a prior campaign. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through simply creating a new campaign using the wizard. First thing you want to do is give your campaign a name. So our campaign will be called Sales Items. My remarks for this is going to be direct BPs to sell items to. All this obviously is manual and is completely up to you what you enter here and how you utilize this information. I'm going to select next. And now this is allowing me to give a little bit more information on when the campaign will run, how long, who it's targeting, and whether or not there'll also be items attached to this campaign. So you'll see my campaign name goes in automatically. My campaign type. All of these selections are defaulted in SAP, so you can select any that you wish. If you're selecting email, which is our default here, there is also an option to work with your SAP Business One partner to set up a template if you're actually using this campaign to send out automated emails via SAP Business One to the selected business partners that are involved in the campaign. You can select a target group, which allows you to specifically target groups like leads with any items. You always want to target a lead, obviously, because they haven't become a customer yet. So you want to make sure you consistently follow up with them to let you know that you're there to be their customer outreach and help them and hopefully win them as a customer. You can also select an owner, which normally if you select no information here, it's going to default to me as the campaign creator as the owner. But I can certainly select someone else on my sales team should I want to. I'm going to select the start date of our campaign as today, and I'm going to run it through until August 7th. What that does is that gives me a month-long campaign that's going to be targeted at specific business partners for specific items. So right now I'm targeting my customers, and now I can open up my items box and utilize my SAP search to select specific items. Now, once I select a few items here, using my control and select option, I'm going to select a few multiple items, and I'm going to select choose. This now allows me to have these 3 items as my campaign items that are related only to this campaign specifically. You also have an option to put what we call partners inside of a specific campaign. What that means is that normally a business partner can have a related partner, which could be maybe another location that handles their billing or their warehousing, and they have a parent company. If you want to put your campaign only to that parent company, then you would have partners set up in your system and you'd be able to select that here. And what that would do would only campaign to those specific parent partners, not necessarily all of the customers and BPs. My remarks copied over from our previous screen. And you also have the option in this screen, if you have those campaign templates set up for your emails, you'd be able to add one here. What that does is that would make it so that those emails that are automated through SAP Business One would have a specific template so that everyone getting those emails regarding this campaign would get the same exact email. You would not have to do any copy and pasting or any manual sending one by one. You'd be able to kind of automate that process. Once I'm done filling that screen there, I'm going to select business partners and business partner names that I want associated with this campaign. I'm going to use my search button here. I'm just going to select my first 3 business partners. Now, once I select those, you'll see that my create activity became ungrayed. That means that I can select to create an activity for following up on this campaign automatically once I'm finished with the wizard, or I can untick it and then no activities will be created. The activities will be created on a one-to-one basis. So each individual business partner will have their own activity based upon this creation. So I want those activities created because I want to know that I have a follow-up in the system on this campaign. In this screen, if you have a very large list of business partners that you want to put inside your campaign and you want to direct, you also have the option here on the bottom right of your screen to import an Excel spreadsheet with all of those business partners. And then this grid would automatically populate with that information. What that does is that just saves you a lot of time versus coming in here and selecting from your list of drop down here. Now that I've selected my business partners, I'm going to go on to my next step, which allows me to save the campaign and exit. So then I'd have to go back into the campaign to execute, save and execute. And then also it allows some executing campaign options. So if I had my email template again, I'd be able to utilize one of these and I'd be able to automate those emails to send out to those specific business partners related to those items that are on sale now. So for now, I'm just going to save my campaign and execute. Going to click next. The system is going to complete step 5 and create my campaign. Now, because I had my send email utilizing Microsoft Outlook, it will ask you to open up your Outlook system. If I simply had send emails via SAP, it would also open up your SAP Business One messages window. So now in our last screen here, we see a summary report. This summary shows you what is going on with this campaign. It will show you if for some reason something errored, like our Microsoft Outlook because I exited out of it. It will also tell me that our saved operation completed successfully, which means that campaign number 7 created. And I can simply open up that campaign again directly from that golden arrow. Now I'm just going to maximize that screen. And now you see our campaign. From your campaign screen, you can manage the campaign and what's going on with it. So in our first screen, we see our target business partners. So if I was sending out this information to these business partners, I'd be able to click here if I got a response back from any of our business partners, or if I did not receive a response, I would leave that unticked. Once I check that I received a response, you can also click whether or not they were interested. That allows you to say, my next campaign, they were not interested, maybe I won't include them on my next. Or possibly they were interested. Once I select interested, now I know on this campaign, These two customers were interested in these items, and I can follow up more fully with those customers regarding those items specifically. If I scroll just a little bit further, you'll also see that if you have a document linked to this campaign, like a sales opportunity or a sales quote or order, you'd be able to link it here as well. So these customers interested, if I were to create a sales quote for the items, I'd be able to link that here. And what that allows me to do is have all of that information in one screen. So when I'm following up with Amazon regarding this campaign, I know that I created them a sales quote and I know the document number all in one spot. There's no need to go back and forth in your screens or take up extra time on your side or the customer side in your follow-up. In our items tab, we'll see the items that we're showing from our campaign. Partners would only include if we had added partners. And then you can also add attachments. Again, the attachments can be anything that you deem necessary. So maybe you want to attach a follow-up note sheet on maybe your customer Amazon was only interested in one of your 3 items. You could load a Word document here and attach that with those notes. On the header of your screen or the top of your screen here, it will show you whether or not you created this campaign via the wizard or via manual creation directly from your campaign option. Also, we'll show you your sales items, whether or not there was a target group, your end date, and it will also allow you to close, cancel, or finish your campaign. Once a campaign is finished, you always want to click finish because you don't want it to show open as if no one followed up on your campaign with your items and your business partners. You can also click cancel should you have made a campaign inadvertently, or if you want to update the campaign and you need to make sure that this information is canceled out, you can simply select canceled here. You can also change your fields here. If you want to run the campaign a little bit longer, we can simply update our end date here. We can also add additional remarks, and we can update our campaign type or who the campaign owner is. Again, if you know you're going to be out of the office, for example, you don't want your customers thinking that no one is available to take their questions on a campaign that you just sent them. So then you can simply assign a new owner to follow up while you're out of the office to make sure that your customers have someone to contact. I'm going to update to save my changes, and then I'm going to exit out of my campaign. I'm going to make sure I close my campaign window as well. And in our campaign option, that's where we just entered automatically from our campaign wizard to see our campaign number 7. You can also feel free to search through other campaigns in the system. This enables you to see other campaigns that you may not have known were going on in your company, but maybe you know of a customer that could really benefit from items specifically part of this campaign. Or maybe you know of a customer that could buy up additional stock for an item related to this. You'd be able to search through everyone else's campaigns as well. Our next option in our CRM management is our opportunities. Opportunities are how your sales team will track opportunities for selling or possibly future opportunities for contacts in terms of maybe they're not yet sure if they want to move forward from a lead to a customer. You can set up your opportunities to track that progression. That also helps if you have a sales manager on the team monitoring the opportunities that you have assigned to specific salespeople. This will allow them to monitor the progress of the opportunity. Once an opportunity reaches 100%, normally that means that that lead has become a customer and you have an order from that customer. And that opportunity can then be closed because that opportunity turned into a deal. I'm going to simply use again my back arrows to open up one of my opportunities. And I see that I have an opportunity for my business partner, Grohl and Hawkins. This opportunity is 60% complete. You'll also note that I have open activities related to this opportunity. which you can drill into utilizing your SAP Business One gold arrow here. You'll also be able to see our start date for our opportunities. This is important if you're looking to see if there's old opportunities that possibly fell through the cracks, or maybe old opportunities that need to be closed in the system. When selecting your opportunity, it is very important, if it's a sales or purchasing, that you make sure you select the proper contact here. Because if Dave is the one that's presenting the opportunity, he should be the one that I should be following up with the most to ensure that they have all of the information they need. I've answered any questions they may have, and hopefully you can progress through the opportunity to a deal. In our opportunity, we have the option to select when our opportunity could be closed, so our predicted closing date, and our predicted time. We also have our potential amount and weighted amount, which is how it's going to calculate our gross profit percent and total. What that means is it's taking into account the order as a whole versus the price of the items in the system. So it's taking into account what those cost us. You can also select the level of interest for your opportunity specifically if you know or they know how interested they are. In our general tab, we do have the option of utilizing BP channels. If you have a channel set up in your standard SAP Business One, you can certainly select a BP channel code here, which means that the channel code through another business partner will be related to this opportunity and not just the business partner that you see in the top of your screen. The stages of our opportunity is how we get our percentage to move here. And this is always based upon your customer follow-up. So for our example here, our initial opportunity started at a lead. Then our next step was a quotation to that lead. Now to add in another, I would simply right click and I would select add row. Now, the message that you're seeing here, close document linked to row, we don't want to close the sales quote linked to the row before it. So we're going to click no. You can, of course, click yes if you know that your next row will include a sales order. If this includes a sales order for your document type, then if I would have clicked yes, it would have automatically closed my sales quotation for me. So the stage being quotation, it could change once you add an additional row here, or it could stay at quotation. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put second meeting as my next stage here, and I'm going to assign myself as a sales employee. It automatically is going to put in my start date, and I'm going to put in my closing date as tomorrow, because today into tomorrow, I'm going to be following up on this opportunity. Your percent here is what changes your closing percent of your opportunity here. So previously we were at 60. So because we're adding in another part of this and getting further along in the process, I'm going to increase that to 75%. You can feel free to change your potential and your weighted amount based upon the opportunity. And then I'm going to also select a new sales order. And I'm going to link this sales order, which will update our gross profit information in our opportunity as well. I'm going to change the owner. That way I make sure that I am the owner. So this opportunity is being updated by me. And then I'm going to click update to save my changes. Every part of your customer relationship management has to do with follow-up and touching that customer. So every contact point that you have with that customer can be housed here in your opportunity until that customer flows through and an actual order is placed or the opportunity is won. You can feel free to make opportunities for existing customers, new customers that would be deemed leads, and also for your vendors. Again, if we were utilizing business partner partners, we'd be able to select and add that information here as well. And you can also add competitor information. If this opportunity is between us and Amazon selling specific items to Grohl and Hawkins, you can put information here for who is the threat, and you can add as many or as little as you'd like. You can associate a threat level. You can add in manual remarks here. And you can click whether or not they won. What that allows you to do is look back at previous opportunities and say, what opportunities did we lose and what opportunity do we have to possibly win it in the future? Our summary tab will show us a little bit more information regarding this opportunity. It will show if it's open, won, or lost, as well as the reasons. And it will show us any of the documents attached to this opportunity, going by the last document attached, which was our sales order here. Again, also includes an attachment. You can attach anything you would like here. You can attach additional information about this business partner, a price list, possibly a contact list beside your contact person that's here. Anything that relates to this customer that will better serve you when following up and making contact with this customer to ensure that they get the best customer service experience. And then I'd simply update my opportunity here and exit my screen. Our next two options are our sales quotes and orders. These are utilizing your standard SAP Business One marketing documents for your sales quote and your sales order, but it does allow you to open them directly from your CRM module without having to go into your sales module. It also gives you easy access if you're working on a customer and you're following up on an activity and they tell you that they placed an order for an item, you'd be able to open directly from here that order or quote that they're mentioning. So the next thing to look at would be our Customer 360. The Customer 360 option is available in HANA and works on HANA Analytics. So if I click my Customer 360, it's going to open up a main dashboard with information pertaining to a specific customer. Once this screen opens, you'll see that I have a lot of different options telling me all about what's going on with this customer in one screen. It's opening up with my first customer, which is C10,000. It's going to show you your contact persons and your default address, as well as any open opportunities, your churn probabilities, your opportunity win rates, as well as any open sales documents. From this screen, you can also choose to edit, which means that you can add or subtract information directly from your screen here. You can filter on additional information directly from your filter settings. And you'll be able to also look up your Customer 360 information for all of your customers in SAP Business One from this screen as well. So by default, it opened up for our customer C10,000, but a better usage of this screen may be to see all of your customers. So in order to see all of your customers, if I just open up my 360 screen again, I should be able to select another saved option for my dashboard information. So from my home button here, you'll be able to select more information to add to your screen, or again, one of my Customer 360's saved dashboards. So this dashboard will show all of your information regarding your sales, order fulfillment, and receivables as a company whole. This can give you and your sales team a really good snapshot of what's going on in the company. It will also allow you to take a look at specific business partners, and maybe you can direct specific campaigns at those business partners with not a lot of sales orders open. It also will open up a communication channel between them if you start targeting them for something because you're noticing that no one has contacted them or they haven't placed an order in quite a while. You'd be able to reach out to them and figure out why, which then allows you to hopefully turn that into an opportunity and build that customer relationship. Last but not least, we have our CRM reporting options. CRM reports will allow you to see all of your activities that are assigned to you, not just the ones you've entered. It will allow you to have an activities overview on all of the activities and who they're assigned to in the system. It will also show you a list of inactive customers. Customer relationship management doesn't always mean that you're necessarily going to be reaching out to customers that are current customers. Sometimes a customer may have went inactive for a specific reason, and utilizing your inactive customer list, it will allow you and your team to reach out to those inactive customers and see if you can make them active once again. It will also just simply open up the line of communication to figure out more about their customer service experience overall and what you can do to make it better and hopefully get them back as an active customer. We'll also show you a list of your campaigns, including the one that we made today. And you'll also be able to see your opportunities reports. We'll show you all of the opportunities in the systems, not just the ones you created or the ones that are assigned to you. Keeping in mind that customer relationship management is really a foundation for getting orders, but also forming long-term relationship with your customers, which is the main goal. You want customers to feel like they're important, and you want customers to know that you are paying attention to what they need, whether it be specific items, a specific follow-up situation where they just want to know that you're there if you need them, and make them feel special and that your team is putting them as a priority. And you can do all of that from SAP Business One's CRM module here. So, Catherine, if you would like to open it up to any questions or concerns, I'll be more than happy to answer any.
Awesome. I don't see any right now there, Shannon. But if you guys do have any questions or comments, please feel free to type them in the boxes there. But if not, then I think we could probably close it out. I don't see anything coming in there, Shannon, so I think we're okay to close it out. But for those listening to the recording, if you do have any questions or comments after this session, please feel free to reach out to us with any of those, and we'll definitely get to them as soon as we possibly can.
Thank you very much.
All right, fabulous. Well, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to Shannon for hosting today and fabulous Q&A Cafe, and we look forward to many more. Thank you everybody for attending today, and to those on the recording, thank you for listening. Again, we hope that you'll join us next week. That's July the 14th for our Q&A Cafe, Navigating the Financial Cockpit in SAP by Design. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out to us via our customer support team. And we look forward to seeing you all again next week. Have a lovely rest of your day.